Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Hawkeye session. It's Wednesday, December 9th, and trading foreign exchange on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. The high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. Before deciding to invest in foreign exchange, you should carefully consider your investment objective, level of experience, and risk appetite. The possibility exists that you can sustain a loss of some or all of your initial investment, and therefore you should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with foreign exchange trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts. This is a live trading room. It is for educational purposes only. No financial advice or recommendation will be provided. Any trade taken during this live session is not a recommendation or a suggestion that you should also do the same. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Do not trade money that you cannot afford to lose. And before trading live, always operate with a written trade plan that identifies the rules for entries, exits, targets, and risk management. And with that, we're going to go to the charts. The Euro USD chart has a active wedge alert on it right now as we speak, and here it is. And so the way I drew this, get my big chart up. And so what I did, I was looking at the overall picture of this thing. And if you look and see what the range was during the last couple of days, you can see as I scroll back, you can see back over here on the 7th, which I think was Monday, you had strong move. This is the daily range of Monday. And you can see that right now we have a lower high, higher low. Now this high here broke out. This was yesterday's range, which was pretty much of a consolidation. Then it broke out overnight and formed a new high, higher than yesterday, but not quite as high. So right now we're trading inside this white box. And so what I looked to do is I found out where our Fibonacci lines are. Here's our 15-minute blue line. Here's a 15-minute red line. And I see where they fell inside the box. And so what I did was I put the range, a supply zone up here to the next green line, next 15-minute green line, which is right here. So we have the green and the blue. This is a 5-minute. These are 5-minute greens. Yeah. So I have the 15-minute lines. Then I put the 5-minute line. So this is our supply zone. I did the same thing on the bottom. I got the red 15-minute red, and here's the red 5-minute red. So again, this is the demand. So and we're still. You can see how this box, the range box of the last of the week, basically, is in this area. So my thinking is that it's going to stay within the box. If it comes down into this demand area, which is only about 12 pips away, so actually we could possibly get a nice enough room to take this trade short, but I don't think you're going to get a lot out of it. It's only like 9 pips down to this. Now it could come down deep into here and retest the bottom of the whole box. So if we get a break here, it would be okay to take it short, and it's. But I'm looking at the 5-minute chart where we had the break on the 5-minute chart, came back up, retested it. This little candle right here is where I'm looking to see it close below. If it closes below this candle right here in about another, let's see, what time is it right now? We have about 3 more minutes to go, 2 minutes to go. If we get the close here, then we can take it short. And actually, we probably could take it short right now, actually, because it is breaking this little pivot here on this retest. I would like to see it kind of close below this area right in here. But if you take it short, it's not going to be you're not going to be going for a whole lot because we're going to be coming right down into the bottom of where the overall top of the demand zone is. So we have a 15-minute red fib line, which is probably going to be you'll probably get a bounce off of that. And so if we can break through this, we can get into here to here. That's basically your 7 pips at the best until you get a bounce off of the 15 minutes. So I'm going to pass on this. I'm not going to take this trade live for sure. What I'll do is when this candle closes, I will take it short just to see. We'll be able to mark and see how close we came to the accuracy of our plan here. This is not a live trade. This is strictly a demo trade because I really don't expect it to come down here and bounce. And I'm just not willing to put a lot of risk for that. The stop would have to be on the top of this candle up here. And we'll wait for this 5-minute candle to close. You got 7 pip stop, 7 pip target. So you're pretty much right in the middle of the range. So you're looking at, is it going to break or is it not going to break? I'm going to put a sell stop in right at the 2103 area. Make sure I got the right account on here. Yep. See where we're 21. Sell stop. Where's our price here? Oh. And let's see. So I'm going to put a stop in right about in here, 2103, if I can get it in there. 2103. And we're going to take profit of 7. And we're going to try and get in here and see if we can get this. We're filled. And we have our take profit. It should be about 7 pips. Again, I'm not taking this live. I don't really think it's worth it would be a trade that'd be worth taking, but we're going to use it for demonstration purposes here of how this all works. We have a 9 pip stop. I'm going to put a 10 pip stop in. We'll see where that falls. So we have our stop above these. I like to have the stop. Basically, the stop is back into the wedge. So if it comes back in and closes inside the wedge, we'll probably be out of this trade. If this thing, it's already tested the wedge, it came down, closed, came back up, retested the top of the wedge, came back down, gave us a higher low on this bottom part. So this may not materialize. This could be the beginning of a strong move down. This could be our wave 1, wave 2, and then we could have a wave 3 coming up here, which is going to retest this 5-minute period 62. We do have all the moving averages in the right direction for this, except like right now you're seeing how the 1 minute is starting to curl and starting to get a little bit of a challenge of whether or not this is going to, this was pointing down pretty well. So this still shows us that there's just a little bit of pullback, came back up, try to get some people reversing to go long, and then this thing came back down and started taking some stops. And we'll see how this thing materializes. But you can see we're actually getting it's almost really actually starting to trend a little bit. We have a low, a lower high, lower low, lower high. We can take this over here to where after the alert, where it came back up and retested this area, lower low, lower high. Now the question is going to be, is it going to break this area right in here? We have this whole area right in here, or is it going to take this out, or is it going to break to the upside and then come back down, or is it just sitting here basing? We could actually be in this thing for quite a while before we get stopped out or get our target. And that's my analysis of this. I do think this could possibly be the retrace extreme where it's came down. I see it's coming all the way down here in the bottom of this 15-minute of this box that we do. And you can see that we actually had, off of this overnight low, we actually had a higher low. So this one's still holding right here where our target is. So it's still, right now, it's still making it had a low, a higher low, another higher low. So right now we're looking at testing this overnight low. And you can see it's actually forming a little bit of there's a trend line forming right in here. So this is really the range. It's going sideways in this range. If it breaks through the bottom, if it can't break through the bottom and it comes, this could be our third move. If we're looking at it, and we're talking small ranges here off of this. If we go from here to here. The third target, the third leg would be down here, which will mark it in this area. So if it does go short, it probably will fall into this area. And if it goes long, we could be looking at this low to this low to this high. We'll pull it back to right about where the stop, and then we have the target would be right up in here, which is pretty much the top, breaking up into the wedge and maybe going up higher to the 61.8 retracement. But right now it's pretty much range bound, and there's not a lot of room to the upside right now. And I'm not sure it's ready to make that turn. Any questions or comments? This is tested the wedge for the, it's right now it broke the wedge, came back, tested once, tested it twice, tested the third time. If we get the breakdown here, we get a close below these candles. I'd like to see a close below there, and then the target's going to be down around this area. So this is why I really don't like breakout trades, because all you're doing is you're banking that it's going to break out, and so many times, like you were banking for this one to break out, it broke out, you got in, it came back up, and right now it's just driving you crazy while you're waiting for this thing to decide which way it's going to go. But obviously, what's happening is you're having buyers coming in down here. So this whole area, I believe right now, this whole area, there's a battle going between the buyers and sellers right in this area. The sellers want to drive it down, the buyers want to drive it up. And somebody's going to win this battle, but we don't know who.
Do we have any red folders this morning that could maybe help us?
There is a red folder. There is a red folder. Thanks for bringing that up, Christine. There is a red folder. Well, there was a red folder. I think it's already gone.
You're on Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wednesday. Here we go. There. Yeah, I saw one earlier.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a Bank of Canada, I believe it is. It's going to affect the Canadian dollar at 10 o'clock. So we'll be aware of that on any Canadian pairs that should happen to pop up our way.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing that to our attention. And so right now it's basically we're making lower highs, higher lows, lower highs. So right now right now I'm looking for it to break out of this area. If it breaks out of this area and gives us a close below these wicks here, then we have the RCS is saying that it's going to go get some strength. If we look at our map here, we're looking at the Euro US. You can see the Euro is the weakest right now on the 4 hours, the weakest on the 30-minute week. The Euro is weak all the way around, so that's going to get a strength to the dollar. Strength of the dollar is going to have this thing going short. So this could be a good entry to try and get in up when it came back up to retest this wedge area. We do have a little bit of a wick over wick up here. We'll call this a trap. And we're going to put this one a enter on close. And right now it's just trading inside a range of about 7 pip range. But to try and take this, you're going to be paying 1.2 on the spread, so you could be paying 2 pips on the spread. You could possibly make a little bit of profit back and forth, but you really want to be playing that game. I personally would rather see it break out and go for a little bit better But right now it's range bound, and by the time you get in and pay your spread, you get out, you pay your spread. You're taking the risk for only about 2 or 3 pips, and it just isn't really worth it. There's not enough range to make it worth taking that trade. But I'm going to keep my stop outside of this trap area. So if it does, then I can possibly look in reversing position. If it breaks through the trap and stops me out, we have this area up here to be looking at. But there again, I think it's only going to be probably about 7 pips to the upside. And that's on the 5-minute chart. If we go to our 15-minute, oops, wrong one. And if we look and see where our, let me hide some of this stuff here. You can see where the 15-minute 62 and the 30-minute 62 are all right up here. It could very well, it broke, it came back down. It could come up and retest that area, which would probably stop me out. But then the question is it, which way is it going to go from here? Overnight low, overnight high, retesting the low, and now which way is it going to go? So the box that we have is still way up here and way down here. And we're kind of right near the bottom of it, which gives me the rise to think that this thing will probably be staying inside this major white box here and seeing what happens. Let's see, like right now we're taking some heat. We tried going for that breakout. It didn't work really, at least not yet. It hasn't. Not saying that it won't, but we do have this little wick over wick up here. We have our trap. And the thing is, what happens is you go and you say, oh, it's going to go short. So you take the breakout, doesn't work out, comes back up. Oh, it's going to go long. You get stopped out. It's going to go long. Oh, it takes the breakout. Oh, no, it didn't work. And so this is how you get chewed up, how you chew up your account. Because what you're really doing is you're buying high and you're selling low. Which is not a good way to do it. But high is always relative and low is always relative. But when you see it consolidating, and actually you can see a little bit of an upward trend channel in here. You have the C here, you have this little pivot here, you have some, so actually you're looking at a little bit of a upward trend. Let me see if I can draw this out here. Take the B here, we'll bring the A down, and we'll bring this D over here. And this is really the channel that is now trading in. If it breaks through the top of this, it could come on up a little bit higher and retest that 30-minute. To this right from this point, it is making, here's a high. There's a little bit of a higher high, not much, but a little bit. Here's a low. Here's a little bit higher low. It's starting to trend in a very gradual angle. And a lot of times you get these real gradual angles. What it does, it just, when it drops pretty hard then. But this is a much safer bet to go short, and this is a safer bet to go long at this point. I don't know if I could add to this position or not. Let me see if I can do that. Too late. And let's look at our higher time frame and see what it looks like on the 5-minute. Let's see what happens. A lot of times, as you get into a trade like this, you get in, you say, "Oh, it's going against me." Then you start worrying. Now if it comes back, you go, "Whew, boy, I finally broke even." So then you get out because you just got you just paid some emotional inventory on this little pullback, and about the time you get out, guess what happens? Then it breaks down. This is a strong move down. This is a relatively strong move back up, but didn't go very far. If you look at the RSIs, you have a high here, you have a high here, you have a low. So it is actually making a little bit low, even though it's somewhat trending in upward. This is just a little flag pattern. So right now, if this thing could still go short, it is trying to pull off out of the low, but it's not quite. We're still showing some strength to the dollar, and dollar is still the second currency of the pair. Therefore, we're still looking at going short based on our RCS tool here. Let me see here where we had the alert. We finally got this RSI to come down here to the lower portion. This right here, just very near the 75. The 8-period RSI came down into the 75 to 89 area, and then it curled back up. And right now, it's still staying above the 8-period, which still gives me some thought that this thing still could. It's not showing right now. It's pretty much right in the middle. It's right. If you look right here, it's right in about the 47-50% range of this RSI. So it's really not going anywhere. So all we can do is sit on our hands.
Al, if you don't mind, could you just tell me the measurements of the white box?
Measurements of the white box,
The
sure.
larger
This one right here, it's the top of the box is at 121.66, and the bottom is at 120.79. And it's basically the range of Monday's range over here at the. This was Monday's high, Monday's low. I think it was Monday was the 7th, I believe. Today's the 9th.
Yes.
Today's Wednesday. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep. And he's, like I said, see that that was Monday. Let me see if I can. Where's my blue lines here? Session breaks. So here's this is Tuesday's range from here to here, which was like nothing. That was like pretty much consolidating and basing right here. That's only a 23 pip range. That was all day for that pair.
Mm-hmm.
And then overnight it went lower high, and right now it's still struggling to break the Monday's low.
Mm-hmm.
This is kind of range bound as well. Let's back on a 5-minute chart.
Seems like this pair does not want to move today.
No, it doesn't. And so this is, a lot of people don't even like trading the Euro US. It seems to be the one that everybody trades. I'm not sure why, but it seems to be that way. Any other alerts? Oh, we got a US yen at 8.15. Let's take a look at that
Oh, did
one.
we?
Yeah.
Sorry, I missed that.
Let's take a look at that. Maybe that might give us a little bit. This was at 8.15. Let's clear the chart. And let's pull everything off of here so we can see what we're doing. 8.15. Here we go. 15-minute chart, 8.15. This is the daily range right here. Here's the high, here's the low for the day. Here's the high, here's the low for yesterday. You can see that it's made a higher high, and so far it's made a higher low. We'll take this trend and take this one out from here to here. And we're going to say it made a higher high, higher low. So we're going to, looks like it's trending in the upward direction. And it was a ascending wedge, so which makes sense. It does have a slight upward slope. Here's the channel. And so we'd be looking maybe buying down here and selling up here. The alert was at
8:15.
8.15. Right there, here was the alert. And we have a strong move down right into our area, right, let's see, right to the, let's take a look and see that this was an extreme down here. Let me take a look at another chart here and see. This is the US yen. And we had, this was an extreme down here. I'll retrace extreme as it comes down in this area. I'd be looking at more to take it long down here. Let's see if I think about that. We have, here's a pivot low. So let's go and draw that out. This is an area that's going to have to get, it would have to get through this area to go even lower. We're getting a bounce. It came up, came back. Right now, there's some buyers right in this area, right in here. I'm going to call this our demand zone off this range. Have a bounce. Here's where this was the demand zone. This is where it was tested, came back up, came back and retested it again. We do not have a close below this point right here. And so we're looking at, I'm looking at the range from here to here, to the low, to the high. If it breaks the upside, right now if it breaks this part of the wedge with some strength, I'd like to see these RSIs getting above this 40-60 range. Right now it's in this 40-60 range, and I don't really like that too well. I wouldn't want to take it with those. I want to see them coming out of it like this. And see what kind of range we have to the upper side of the trend. There's 11 pips, so we can get our 7 pips out of that. We have the moving average crossover. We have the break above, and we're going to take this thing long. On the close above the wedge, I'd like to see on the 1 minute, I want to see 2 close above, come back and retest. So we have on our 1 minute chart, we're going to, this could be a trap as well, but we never know. Again, we don't really like breakout trades, but that's what all these are really. I do like the fact that this is at a retrace extreme down in here, which was back in the this area right in here. Here's a break up. I'm going to see 2 candles up, come back and retest. If it doesn't do that, it's a trap. If it does break here, we do have right now it's at the, if you look through this range between the blue lines and you put a Fibonacci tool on here, you can see it would probably be pretty much right in the middle of the range, but this would be we're in the lower third of this range. It came all the way down to a higher high, a higher low. And now we're just waiting to see if it's going to break to come on up and give us another test of the upper channel. We'll check our Fibonacci lines. Let's go to our 5-minute chart and we'll check and see where things are. We'll start with the 5-minute. Actually, we'll go to a 15-minute and see where the 15-minute lines are. We have a 15-minute line up here, 15-minute line down here. $15-minute blue, that's the strong one. 15-minute red down here. Oops, wrong one. So from a Fibonacci standpoint, here's our blue. Down here's our red. So from the 15-minute, we're right in the middle of everything. Flip these around a little bit. I don't like taking trades when it's in the middle of this round because you never really quite know which way. It could go either way pretty easily. So I'd rather see it come up here and take it short, and I'd rather see it come down here and take it long. And right now I kind of view this more of a trap area than a breakout area. And if you take it short up here, as these are coming on up, as you see it get these to hook, as it gets further into the trap, if this thing's hook and close back over, that could be an area to go short. Take a look at our 1-minute chart. And again, if you take it short up there and you use the trap as if it comes up here and gives you a hook and gets back in, you're not really risking that much, but you have a lot more potential for the gains down below here. The whole range of this wedge right now, from the D area to here, this is a 6 pip range. So there's not a whole lot, it's not a real big range. And it seems like it's tells me a little bit like what the Euro US was doing, is that it's just not really going too far. It's not really, it's in a very tight range right now. You see, so far this thing hasn't gone anywhere in the last 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan when the pairs don't move like that.
Yeah.
We were like so used to kind of move a little bit more, volume.
We were so used to seeing the pairs go up, take out, and then just break, and they would go and just within 20 minutes you're in and out of the trade. Now it's like the things just, and it's probably just the time of the year.
Seasonality, right?
It could be seasonality. It could be just that all the craziness in the world that no one really knows anything, so they're just taking a very tight range of everything.
Yep. That can
be if you look at the S&P, it's doing the same thing. If you look at gold, or you look at all these other indexes, it all seems to be pretty much the same scenario.
That's not good when the story's the same across all the things. I'm trying something, Al. I'm on GBP AUD. Okay. I know it's not one that we currently trade with Airis or whatnot, but I'm seeing if I can get something nice, because this one likes to move a lot, and that's why I like to mess around with it every once in a while. It doesn't move as slow as, say, Euro US, but we need to if you're trading the GBP Aussie, you need a little bit more breathing room. Well, to be honest, significantly more breathing room when you take that trade. But I'm gonna see what we can figure out.
And there is an Aussie alert that we have here at 8:30. Let's take a look at that. Aussie USD. And see if that looks any better, and see how our Euro US is doing. It's starting to break to the upside. Okay, looks like I got stopped out on that. So see what I said was there again. This is what I was saying, is that you take it short off here, and it just, there it goes, stop me out, hits the trap. Now it's starting to head on up to the upside. This was probably, now we'd be looking for another pullback. This is, looks like it's breaking out to the upside. We've got strength to the Euro strength on the 5-minute. And this is, what time is it right now? It's 8:30. That's a pretty strong candle coming up, but you also have these moving averages coming on down. You have this little, it's almost like another little trap right up in this area right here. You could be careful of. You could maybe take it short up in here.
It's 8:39 Al.
8:39, yeah. Well, yeah, 8:39, and so this is the move before the 9 o'clock hour. But it's going to run into a little bit of traffic up in here. And the US yen is starting to break down. Came on up here. There's a trap. Came up in the trap. It only has 5 pips to go to the bottom of the wedge. Not enough range for me. I'd like to see a little bit stronger pullback.
Yeah, not enough for me either. I'm not
It's just
you
can see this wedge is just getting tighter and tighter and tighter as it goes along.
Probably gonna blow out at 9 o'clock or at 9:30 when everyone wakes up.
And we had an Aussie US, so let's go and put one of those on here. There's the Aussie US. And we're going to take the charts off here, take everything off the chart. Take our fib lines off. And we're going to see it was a descending wedge. And that was at 8:30. And let's blow this thing up and see what it looks like from the higher time frame perspective. See what it did over the week so far. Here's Tuesday's ranges. So it is ranging at a high and low. This was a range for on the 7th, which was Monday. It did nothing all day yesterday. And now it broke up to a new high. So right now we have a little bit of a trend going. So here's the day of the high. Here's, let's see, this would be Friday. Somewhat range bound Friday. So we're going to be taking a look at this from, I'm going to be looking at this trend from here up to here. So it seems like it's starting to, it was an inside day yesterday, and now it's starting to break up. Now it's starting to trend a little bit inside of a range. So we have this high to this high. We have this low to yesterday's low. And this is the overnight low right here, which sort of follows suit. We have an anchor. Here's a hit. Here's a hit. Here's the upper part of the range, and we'll see where this thing ends up. look at our fib line, see if there's anything that's going to give us a reason to think that it's going to stall up here. Put my 15-minute line up. Here's the blue fib line right in here. So it's right at the blue fib line. Here's our blue 15. Here's our red 15 down here. And we'll see it kind of passed it, checked it, came back down, checked it, came up, checked it. I would be looking at hopefully I could see a possible short up in this area. And it was a descending wedge on this. So we had a high. So it's sort of descending. So we're going from the low to the high. Here's our wedge. Descending. Start from there. Come down to the low. Come back up to the high. Flat bottom to this. And see if this thing can break the bottom. And then we're looking at coming down to this would be the target area. See, check our Fibonacci, our other Fibonacci zones. Put it 5 minutes on. And here's our blue, here's our red, here's our green. These are 21 pips in between, I believe, from the blue to the red is 21 pips. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. And the Aussie US. Let's take a look. And look at our RCS tool, and the Aussie is the green one. So it looks like the Aussie strength on the 5-minute. Check all three of them. Aussie strength 6, 3, and 6. So we're still looking at this thing going more to the upside, but I want to see it break through the top of this higher time frame wedge here. If it does break the top, let's see where the target could be. Next target could very well be at the, or say our 7-pip target would be right here at the 74.88 level. That would be our 7 pips if we get the break. By the time we get the break, it's going to be halfway up into that area. Here's a high, came back down. Here's a lower high. It's retesting this area. And we'll see what it does. I do like this Aussie to the upside. I think it's got some room to go the upside.
So you're playing on Aussie strength?
I'm looking at Aussie strength, yep.
Yeah, I'm looking at Aussie strength on GBP/AUD as well. I'm just waiting for it to break one of my trend lines, and potentially I'll be able to share it with you guys. And because it's not Airis, I'm hesitant to.
So GBP, let's see what GBP AUD. See the strength. They're both at the top up there. They're both at the top up here. They're both at the top up here. So they're both showing strength to each other. And the British is weakening to the Aussie on the 5 minute.
Yeah.
And you're looking to do it to the, which way are you going?
I'm gonna see what happens. No, I'm gonna wait and see what happens with the in the next minute or so.
Okay.
In the next couple of minutes, because I got a trend line at the bottom where it's coming down. And so I'm seeing if it breaks that or if it bounces on it. If it bounces on it, I might take it long. If it breaks right through, then that'll be potentially the short I've been waiting for.
I'm looking at a buy stop on this. So when this thing candle closes, I'm going to look to go long on this. We'll see how it closes up here. That's on the 50. If the 15-minute candle can close, and see how much time do we have here. It is. See, we still have 10 minutes left on the 15-minute candle. Let's go to the 5-minute chart. I have to see a 5-minute candle close in this area. The 5-minute candle just closed barely. We have strength. We have all our moving averages in the right direction. Still have strength. And I'm going to take this thing long. There's my fill. Let's see where my 7-pip target is. That's way above the wedge. Let's see where the fib line is. Anything close by on the fib line?
Oh, excuse me.
So that was more of the trap than it was a breakout thing.
I was just about to say I'm
watching.
watching.
No, I keep saying not to take it on the breakouts, and there I did when I took it on. I should have waited for it to come back in and close the second time.
Yeah, I still think
it does have a lot of strength to the upside. This is I would have had a better position if I got in at a little different spot. Rally base, rally, a little bit of a trend line coming on from the bottom up here. But this was a breakout of the wedge on this one on the 5-minute. We did get the break on the 5-minute area. This is also bouncing off the overnight high, coming up right toward the overnight high area. And my stop, let's see where my stop needs to be. It needs to be, go 10 pips below, see where it falls. Well below the wedge. Here's the low, here's the let's make that a range box. And if I get a close in here, then I'll probably get out of this trade. And do an exit on close on this one. The only reason why I like taking this one up here, it wasn't my best choice, but there was a strong Aussie strength to the dollar. That hasn't really wavered much on the 15. It's still showing strong 7 in the 2. So you've got the opposite extremes on both of those.
Al,
Yes.
this isn't a chart question per se. It's more a Auvoria Prime question in the
Okay.
sense that I used to get a pop up on my alerts. So like usually when you were doing the charting, it would like pop up on my screen when we had a new alert, and then I'd go back to see what it was. And this morning it's not doing it, so I don't know if that's a.
You're talking about the Airis alerts?
Yes, like I have to go back to the notification page.
Yeah.
Because I used to get like a little pop up as you were on our chart here.
It would actually show up on your trading view on your
on your trading
monitor?
view. Yes, it would show up on my monitor that there was a new.
It's
new
an alert based on your Google Chrome, I think.
Based on Google Chrome. Okay.
I think it's Chrome. You can get or Telegram or whatever. It'll pop up and it'll say, "Hey, alert." It's not gonna. I don't think it has anything to do with TradingView.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
It's probably more of a Telegram thing, I think.
Okay, let me go try that.
Well, yeah,
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Brett. Go ahead, Matt.
Try and mess around with it a little bit. If not, then we can take a look at that later on and see if we can get that to work how you're used to.
Yeah. Thank you.
I used to get all these Telegram alerts. I used to get an audio when the alert popped up. I get it on my phone. I don't get it so much on my Telegram because what was happening is I get so many Telegram messages that the thing just
Yes.
kept going all day long, and I just didn't want to listen. I find out that I was getting some. It's sort of like you get flooded with the information. You don't get any information because
No, you get
you don't pay.
overloaded and you tune it out, right?
Yes.
You tune it out
My
exactly.
wife was like, "You need to turn this off. Like you're getting messages."
Yeah.
I checked and I had 10,000 unread Telegram messages because I'm on a
Oh my
couple different
goodness.
groups. I said, "Yeah, this is getting
Yeah.
Wow.
In fact, at nighttime,
Yeah.
I usually turn my audio off on my phone just because it goes off. It's dinging all night long and keeps you up.
Yes.
So I just turn it off and just wait till the morning to see what's going on that's time relevant.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that would be quite a lot, Matt.
Yeah, if I go through and I probably close out, scale out of about, I'll usually get 100 telegrams a day, and I just go through and just see which ones look relevant, and I just mark the others as read.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a great tool, but it's also can be a little bit, it's over information overload.
Yeah, most of it's junk.
Yeah.
Most of it's junk groups that I haven't left, so but it is what it is for now.
Let's see, how's this Euro US doing here? Is it anything going on there? Okay, this one's breaking out at the upside, but not with any great degree of enthusiasm. Here's a straw move down right here, and you can see where it's kind of retesting. This is kind of a retest area. And that's one of the problems right now with such a range-bound market is that you get all these little retest areas, and it'll go up and just enough to get you excited about it, and then it just turns around. That's why sometimes it's better to just be on a little bit higher time frames and just wait for those areas. You have a little bit more of a stop possibly, but it also gives you a little bit better entry if you're going to be reversing positions.
So Al,
Yes.
talking about your different indicators, can you please explain your MRSI for me? Like you have the two things in there.
The MRSI, yes. The MRSI, basically what the MRSI is a moving average. It's a relative strength indicator. We have two indicators on here. We have the 8 period and the 3 period. I have that on all the 15-minute, 5-minute, and 1-minute chart. And basically we're looking for it to come up to the extremes and just seeing how the strength of the move is. And right now on the 15-minute, we're seeing where the 3 period came on all the way up to the 89 to 75 area. And as we see the cross on that, so right now is putting, you can see where it's starting to come back. This was really a trap area more so than a breakout area. And we have strength to the downside. And so basically what we'd be looking at the best way to be looking at this actually right at this point is wait till these get down to the 8 period gets down to like the 75 region, which is this bottom orange line. Get the hook on the 1 minute and then take it long to try and see if we can. But as you can see, where we came up to the extreme up here, as we got into the trade just very much the wrong time, which is part of the idea that when you try and do these breakouts, they're really trap areas more so than breakout areas. Comes back down, retests, and we got the crossover again the second time. Here's a high, here's a low, got the crossover, and now it's pulling back down to, right now it's retesting our stop area.
Thank you.
Thanks for asking the question there, Eva.
Yeah, sometimes I get a little confused with them, you know. I don't understand what I'm looking for.
Yeah, see, right now it's right at the 9 o'clock hour.
We're almost getting a bounce off the bottom of my wedge there. So I'm curious to see what how
Which
that's
pair are
going
you
to play
talking
out.
about, Matt? Which pair are you talking about?
Oh, the GBP AUD. But I'm not. I don't have an appetite to take that yet. I'd need some kind of pretty solid confirmation.
Looks like this is going to be the stop out here. Exit on the close. Looks like it's going to. That was the head fake. Get you. And your brain tells you that what's happened is your mind, your brain, that BTE indicator between your ears says, oh, it's coming up, it's breaking out. And really all it is, it's a strong move up where the market makers are getting everybody excited to come into for the breakout. And that's where they're selling. As you're buying, they're selling, and then they drive the market back down again. And that's pretty much the way it works. Strong move up. And actually, you can see there's a little M forming here. If you look at this 5-minute chart, as we drew our wedge, we actually, here's the first leg of the, here's the leg of the M. Here's the first leg. If you look at it from, let me change the perspective here. Take this off. And we're going to go with so here's your move up as the first leg of the M. Here's your lower part of the M. Here's the other hump of the M. And it comes down and probably retests down in this area. As it's so it's going to be looking at breaking here. And then that's the end of the M. Then it may come up and retest again. And then it goes. And then this would be the retest on the way down. Yeah, looks like I'm going to get stopped out of this. I'm just going to let it take the trade, take the stop out. But here's the bottom. Strong move up, pull back, retest area, and it'll be a retest down here. It's probably going to bounce off of this. And here's the low, and see what happens with that. And looking at the 5-minute, you can pretty much take it all the way down to this area down here. And this thing could follow up with the rest of the bottom of the M here. Could be anywhere here or could be down in this area. If we can get it to break this trend line right, this part right here, it breaks. And if it can break here, it's probably going to go lower. M's and W's. This area right here is pretty much where the London session opened up. There was the overnight basing. London opens up, comes back up. And so we may get a retest of this area down in here. Let's see how the euro did. Yeah, euro's still sort of sitting here in this little area. It did break out of this. We had the alert, came back down. It gave us our head fake. It broke out, came back in. Finally, it took off and started breaking and turning up. And that's going to be trending up to the upper part of this area right in here. We have a trend from the overnight high to the before we had the alert. This thing is getting up into the 75% area. See, it looks like over here. Any questions or comments? Anybody have anything to add? I think the demonstration today is to show people that, show everybody that when you get these breakouts of these wedge areas, you just have to be really careful with the fact that these breakouts are oftentimes just head fakes. And a lot of times you see that really strong candle coming on up to there and then just stop. Oftentimes that's the area where you're looking at, that's where the trap is. Now this is a retest area. It's a little bit different than the trap, but not much different. The retest area is basically looking at where the prior move down, where it stalled, where you have to see where the origin of the move was, which is right up here. Here is the origin of the move, came up, hit the moving average, came back down, based, came back down, retested right here, came back down further. Now it's another retest. Now, once it retests through here, if it can retest this and break, now you also have this little bump up here too. This is the area where the move started. I would look at this as being somewhat of a supply zone. It came up to the 30 period moving. You got all your moving averages. You got your 30 and your 15 all right here consolidated. If you look at a 15-minute chart, you probably see that the 15-minute is right here at 2120. Right about there. That's the 15-minute 62. So you have the 30, the 15, and the 5 all right in the same area, came back up, retested the retest zone. Now looking to see if this thing's going to go short from this area. I'd be looking at the crossover of the moving averages. We still have this 62 coming up here on the 1 minute. So it's still really it's just consolidating some more. If you look at our 1 minute chart. Let's see. Let's see, the alert was all the way over here at 6:45 this morning, and it really still hasn't really gone. You can just see the volatility. I mean, we've had much more volatility in the past, but from the current high to the low right here, it's been sitting in the 21 pip range since 6:30 this morning. So that's been almost for 3 hours. It hasn't traded out of 21 pip range. Either it takes a lot of patience or a lot of patience to either stay in the trade or a lot of patience to not get in the trade. Even like when you see the breakout of this wedge, even if you put it all the way here to where the alert was, you're still only looking at probably maybe a 7 pip range to the low, 8 pips. So you barely got your 7 pips out of that. And you pretty much would have had to take it right here off this pullback. Even if you took it off the pullback on this, where here's the break, here's a little basing. The pullback, you would have gotten your 5 pips, come back, retest it. You probably would have gotten maybe another 5 before it started to break again. About 3 pips, 5 pips right there. So you had 7 pips. If you caught it right at the break here, you got 7. But most of the time we want to try and wait for it to retest. So you still wouldn't have gotten in much before this area right in here. Put it on the 5 minute chart. And so here was the 5 minute. If you waited for the 5 minute candle to close and come back and retest.
Hey, Al, I got to take my headset off because my little guy wants to watch his dinosaur stuff, but I'm going to mute myself and unmute myself manually. So
Okay.
it'll take a couple extra seconds for me to respond.
Okay. And so right here was the retest. It said the best you could have done with the spreads and everything. And you probably would have, even if you took it here, you've been filled down here. If you tried to get out here, you've been filled up here. Or you've had to go through 2 pips in order just to get your 5 pips. It would have been a real stretch to get that. So you have 5 pips there. You come back up here, same type of scenario. By the time you come up, get in, take your trade, you're only looking at, if let's say you got in right here at this target in this retest area, you have a little bit more room to the downside, but to the bottom of the wedge is only 8 pips again. It's doable, but it's there's not a lot of you can't expect to get a lot when you're trading in a 14 pip range.
Hence why we usually like the 21 pips between the.
Yeah, that's why
Normally.
I like using. That's why I like using these fib lines with these 15-minute and 5-minute fib lines.
Yeah.
Because that way, with on the Euro US, you get on the 5-minute you get 21 pip ranges in between, and you can see where if I just take all this stuff off of here, you can see where the ranges are. Here's the green, here's the blue, here's the red, here's another green. And so here's 21 pips between here and here, 21 between here and here, and 21 between here and here. And you can see where it's just pretty much trading in this upper third. You find out where the range is, and you just sort of say, okay, when it comes back down here, I'll put a 5-minute line here. This is a 5-minute red. Here's a 5-minute blue. And then you put your 2 minutes, which are your 7 pip areas in between. I think. 2 minute. Maybe I have the wrong ones here on the 5-minute. It's 5-minute green right here. I find out where my fib lines are here.
Your other one is higher up, I believe. I thought.
Maybe the red should be up top here. Here it is.
Yeah.
There's a 5-minute red. Here's a 5-minute blue right down here. And we'll put those 2 minutes in between. And these are our 7 pip regions. Came up, passed, checked it. I say if it can close here and come back up and retest it, you can maybe take it short if all the moving averages are correct. And I'd say when it gets such tight ranges, I like looking at the 1 minute to see the crossover, see the retest over here. Take a look at our 1 minute. Just put it on the 1 minute right here. You can see where we're at. Here's a crossover, came back down. Here's the 62, come back, retest. Right now it's retesting the 5-minute green. If it can come up here and not close above, you have a little bit of drop, a base drop. Could have a little retest up here, which I would call the trap. So when you get really tight range, you just have to kind of play the tight ranges, and then you go, okay, I'd come up here, and then go for 7 pips down below. And look and see what kind of strength we have here on we have the dollar strength. What happened? Getting the hook back. It came right up here to this retest. This would be a retest area or a trap, call it what you want.
Down a little lower is retest now.
Retest.
Up.
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
Thank you, Christine.
You're welcome.
And here's our trend line. But here again, you're going to be seeing, you can get a lot of whipsawing. Wait till it comes on up in here. Make sure this thing's still showing and put this back on the 5-minute chart since we just drew this on the 1 minute. It's actually trending up, but the question is it going to break through here? If it breaks through this area right here, you're still getting up at the higher part, and here would be the target down and around this area. We'll see how far that is reference to the Fibonacci's. Turn those back on again, and you have your green Fibonacci. So if it comes back up, breaks through here, we're looking at about 3 pips here, maybe another from about here to here, you're looking at roughly 9 pips. Get your spreads out of there. You could possibly use this as a target. Anchor, here's a hit, here's a hit. And let's move it up to the top. Here's the top. Descend, you have a ascending wedge going up, looking for the break. But this is going to be you want to try and get in the upper third of a move, of a potential move. You want the breakout of the wedge to be at the higher part of the of the range. You don't want to have the range down at the bottom and have it break out at the bottom. You want to have it up the range at the top and then break out with the target down here below. And with that, we have about 2 more minutes. Last chance for questions or comments. And if not, in about 1 more minute, when the opening bell hums, we'll see how the opening bell goes, and then we will wrap it up for the day.
The 5 crossed 1 minute 62. 5 minutes 62. It appears.
Yep, we have a 5-minute cross of the 62. We have a break of the 13. We had the retest. And if you look at the 5-minute candles, you have 2 candles. Here's a drop, here's a basing.
Right.
And we can get the break below this area right in here. So it's drop, base, and possibly another drop down below. So if it breaks through the bottom, then we'd be looking at maybe going short. And we're at the upper part of the range. We're also getting consolidation on our 5-minute. We've got the 30 right here. We have the 5, the 15, the 13. Everything is all right here consolidated. So once this breaks out, we may have some direction.
Opening bell, 9:30.
Opening bell. Doesn't seem like it's been overly exciting today on the opening.
I agree with you there.
Let's see how the overall dollar is compared to right now. The dollar is pretty much the bottom third on the 3 hour. It's in the top third of the 30-minute, top third of the 5. So right now he's showing some dollar strength relative to the Aussie and the British. And so the main time frames we're looking at are the 50 minutes and below. I like to see where it is on the 30-minute for a little bit better picture. And on that note, we're going to wrap it up, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. Thanks for coming in, and we'll be back at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, East Coast time. See you then.
Have a great day, everyone.
Tomorrow. Have a great
Bye.
day.
Bye.
All right, take care, guys.